some of the ways that I make money while I'm on the road. And let me just be transparent and say that I am not making that much money, but before I started this life, I worked a lot and I was able to save a lot of money, and so I do have savings that I'm able to fall back on if I ever had an emergency or, you know, anything. I just do have a cushion, which is, I think, necessary, because you just never know. I want to be able to get a hotel room or buy a plane ticket if I ever need to. But I do try to live within the money that I am making currently. I try to live frugally, but there's a lot of different ways. I mean, the best way, I think, is if you're working a job that can turn remote. And luckily, one of the jobs I work is a freelance writing job, and I was working that last year, so I was able to really establish a good flow and get connections and get really used to everything I need. So now it's pretty simple. It doesn't pay a lot, but it also doesn't consume very much time. So for the freelance writing job, it's for a local magazine. I just, when I'm interviewing people over the phone, because my job entails interviewing a family or like an individual in that community, writing a story about them, compiling a calendar of events for the following month, and editing everything. So I have the same deadline every month, so I just always am working kind of towards that deadline. Sometimes I work way ahead if I know I'm going to be busy. So that's one of my streams of income. That's the most that I'm making. That is $500 a month. I was working for 2 magazines before, and I was really planning on having both of those when I started this life, but one of the magazines didn't have enough subscribers, so they had to close. So that was kind of a big bummer and totally changed everything, because I thought I would be making $1,000 a month, which would have been amazing, and I think it would have really, really added. So since I'm not, I do try to pick up dog sitting jobs when I can. I do that through Rover, which I used to do as well, so I already was familiar. Rover is just like a platform where I make myself available. People can choose me based on availability and location. I typically will change my location on there so that I have it set to the area I'm going to be for a longer amount of time. So since I've been in Arizona, I've been able to pick up a couple different gigs. Not many, and they usually don't pay very well, but it is like, it's a little something, and it's nice to be able to like live in a house and have a home base. So that's already such a win-win. I also use WAG, and that's more just dog walking, and when I was in California, that is easier, but pays super minimal. I don't think that it would be worth it. It was only worth it when I was like in California at a house and I could just pick up jobs here and there, whereas, because a walk will pay me like $10 or $15, but like driving to the place and all the nonsense of like going in the house, figuring out parking, all that stuff adds up and doesn't really feel super worth it to me. So that's another option now, actually. And I've done this, is I like will flip clothing and items. I used to do this a lot when I lived in an apartment because I could use Facebook Marketplace, and it's just like I go thrifting a lot, and like I like cycle through my clothes, and I always, my first, if it's a decent clothing worth something, and I don't make very much on that, but I like the idea of somebody getting the item versus just donating to Goodwill, where clothes, will be more expensive to people, or there's just a racket, or, stuff might get, not make it even to the floor. So usually my first line of defense is selling. So, and I've been really trying to figure out how I can simplify, but I really like clothes. I like to like dress nice and change my outfits, and I like to go thrifting, so I acquire things. I've been pretty good, but even some stuff that I've gotten that I'm just like, wait, why did I get that? So I use Depop, and I've used Poshmark as well. Depop I've had the most luck with. So what I'm doing right now, taking nice photos and posting everything and shipping. Alright, this is order up to ship. I usually just use like a grocery bag. It says a shirt in it that I'm shipping, and then try to use as little tape as possible and drop it off. And I can ship. And I've actually sold I've sold some sandals and several pieces of clothes, and I don't know, I think it's kind of nice. I like doing the marketing, like taking the pictures and, you know, pricing things and writing about it. Like, I definitely enjoy that, and I like the extra work. So I've kind of got like a little up over here, little backdrop, and then this is what I do when I have a really nice spot that's like alone. I can just spread out. I like this. I just get in this mode where I need to work on 100 projects at once. Right now it's downsizing all my clothes, reorganizing, selling stuff. I mean, I think this is the storm before it gets better. Like, look at it right now, and you can see what my car looks like without the clothes stuff. Oh, that's not what, that shouldn't be there. Oh, but this is good because I'm gonna paint. But dude, don't take it out right now. So I can access this stuff this way too. My dirty clothes and that guy. It'd be nice to have a vacuum right now, huh? But yeah, this is where all the clothes live. So it's like, in reality, it's not that much. Like, but it looks so bad when people drive by, because it very much looks like I'm just like living. I mean, I am living here, but which is it's silly. It's so silly. But all right, look at this progress. So put all the clothes away under here. Looks good. Dirty clothes. Put my bags back in for sleeping tonight. I reorganized in here a little bit. I switched this to, I don't know if I'm gonna keep that, but then I put books here instead. I don't know, it seems kind of exposed. I used to have that green one right here. It's a little taller, but it just is not as nice. I was thinking about getting rid of it because that's all my Goodwill stuff. It's crazy how I can just eat a day away doing weird organization and like stuff like that. Like, I literally the day is almost over and I've just been like busy in the same space. I apply to freelance gigs once in a while. I think I could find some work doing freelance stuff, but I just have a lot of stipulations. I don't want to compromise my lifestyle. I don't want to live in a library all day. I don't want to have to like do an 8 to 5 just on the road. I like to work in the library. I like to do editing stuff, but I think that I'm making it with what I have right now, so I'm just gonna keep doing it until it's not feasible anymore. But I mean, I have had to make some really big expenses recently, so I am kind of trying to shift my mindset. But like, you know, I just bought realized looking at it, one of my what is that? My valve cover. My valve cover is not on there, so I need to buy one of those. But my tires are looking awesome. But, you know, those put me back like $670. They're nice, and it was so necessary. But, you know, things like that, you need to be able to do it. And, like, I think that I could potentially work I also teach yoga on Tuesday nights. Usually only a couple of my friends come, and I don't charge them, but every once in a while they'll like send me a little tip. And I plan on, if I'm in a spot for a while, I will reach out to local yoga studios and see if I can help in exchange. Maybe not even in exchange for money. I would do it for practice because I love it, and if I can take classes, that's a good work trade. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing. But I do, I look at Indeed and I apply to jobs here and there, but it seems like this is working the best for me, doing dog sitting gigs every so often, keeping up with my magazine, so I always am getting that 500 every month. Also, just the lack of expenses that I do have, which another thing, so my expenses include I pay for my phone, which is I am on a pay-as-you-go plan, so it's actually pretty reasonable for just me. I actually just upgraded my plan to get unlimited data, and I think I pay $60 a month for that with AT&T. So I can do that. Let's see, I pay car insurance. I'm able to pay a 6-month. I'm on the same plan as my parents, so I've been on that for a while, so it's pretty reasonable. But we did just upgrade to full coverage just because my mom wanted me to, because I'm on the road, I'm living in, which I understand, it's my house, it's good to have full coverage, but I think it changed. I mean, and it's still, people pay a lot for insurance. I think it's still very reasonable, where it's going to be a few $100, maybe $400 for 6 months. So, that's totally understandable. What else do I pay? My groceries and gas, random car maintenance, getting oil changes. Yeah, I'll compile that information. I've been taking it easy on my driving, but I've been spending more on other weird stuff because it was the holidays. I had to get my car stuff. Bought some shoes for some reason because I'm crazy. But yeah, so right now I'm just totally enjoying that I got a dream camp spot. It's so nice. You can see there's snow still, so it's the sun though here. The sun is different. It feels like summer. It feels better than summer. It's not too hot. It's wonderful. But yeah, I'm actually, what I'm doing right now, posting some stuff on my Depop, putting aside some things that are just they won't sell, things that I wouldn't sell because it's just worn out, or something that just isn't worth selling it for $5 because that's what it's worth. So I might put that stuff aside and I'm gonna donate to Goodwill. And because I did just go to a Goodwill and I bought a couple containers, beverage containers, and it's I've got that stuff, but I bought them being I'm gonna replace some things I have with the nicer stuff, and because I really need to change my mindset into living more simply, because it's easier, even though it feels hard and I don't want to not have my stuff. Having to dig through my clothes to pick out the outfit every day, it's just not necessary. So I'm getting there. It's totally a process, and I could keep going on like this, but I want to look more minimal. I want to live minimally. I think It makes sense. It does. And I can always go to, and I like to go to thrift stores and not buy anything. I like to just look and be like, nice stuff. Once in a while you see a sick deal and you're like, I need it though, right? You don't. Guys, I'm obsessed. This is such a luxury, dude. I'm literally so happy. We've got a fire rolling. We've got soup on the stove. Okay. Those suckers are actually